Good morning, guys. Pretty nasty day outside here today. It's been raining like crazy. Uh, it's nice and quiet. My grandchildren's father didn't have to go to work today because of the rain, uh, so the house is kind of empty. So I want to take a few minutes. I want to put out a few videos today that are personal, uh, informative, and give some perspective from where I am. The first one is going to be on uh, Big Pharma, the Affordable Care Act, and the overall health system, at least in my area. Now, I understand that the Affordable Care Act gave 20 some million people insurance. More power to them. That's great for them. However, those people and the people that tout that don't look at the downside, don't see what's happened to the other half. For starters, I am friends with, I'll say at least one person, because I don't want to put numbers, I don't want to say names, that is paying the penalty every year because they actually save more money paying their medical expenses out of pocket than paying the massive premium. So now understand that they can pay the penalty, pay their bills, and still save money. There's no way that should be possible. Now, in my case, a brief bit of my medical background. One, I have high blood pressure. I have had high blood pressure since I was 10 years old. I have type 2 diabetes. At this point, it is not medicated. It is controlled through diet and my lifestyle, which is a great thing. 3, the lower 3 vertebrae in my back are all ruptured. Collapsing down, pinching on the sciatic nerve, which runs down the lower right portion of my body. On top of this, because when I was younger, I was a short kid, and in a matter of under 2 years, I grew roughly 18 inches. I went from being normal, semi-short, to being taller than any teacher in my school at 6'6". The joints in both of my knees didn't grow proportionally. So at that point, every step I took, cartilage got destroyed. At the current state I am in right now, there is 0 cartilage in my right knee, and the left knee is fairly close. Orthopedist said that it should be, the right one definitely should be replaced right now, the left one near future. However, because of my age and because of the way things are set up, I am, quote, not old enough that he could not find a surgeon that would be willing to replace my knee. Now, I can't, it's impossible to translate to anyone the level of pain that I go through on a daily basis, that I've gone through for almost 2 decades on a daily basis. It is severely limited what I can do. A long time ago when it first happened, I self-medicated with alcohol, anything I could get my hands on, and then I cleaned my act up, I straightened everything out, and I went, figured, go to the doctors, they will fix this. When I first went to the doctors, within 6 months, I was on 17 different prescriptions. 17. Even today, I am on 9. Well, 10 if you count Claritin, which was over the counter and now isn't. One of those is fentanyl, which is extremely deadly. It is It's basically saved for those patients, like cancer patients and people with a chronic disabled condition. It's a patch. You wear it every day. Now, I'm at the point where there's not much can be done. I'm broken down, and it's going to fairly stay this way. The knees could be taken care of if I can find, if they'll allow them to be operated on. The back is kind of up in the air. However, insurance would rather have everyone else pay for those prescriptions than to have my knee replaced, to have either the nerve severed in my back so that it can't cause that type of pain down my side, or to have the vertebrae fused, or any of the other surgeries that can be done for the back. They would much rather pay out for tons and tons of prescriptions, mandatory doctor visits every month or two because I have to be drug tested because it's federal law, yada, 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 money, money, money. Now, before the Affordable Care Act came in, I was traveling 35 minutes, about an hour, 20 minutes round trip to a place where they dealt with chronic pain, where I got medicine, where I got therapy, where I got injections of gel into my knees to help resolve some of the bone-on-bone rubbing, all kinds of things that actually made my life 100 times better. When the Affordable Care Act came into being, they could no longer accept my insurance. In fact, I asked, look, I will find a way. I even had a family member that was willing to help pay. I will pay cash just to stay here. It's illegal. Okay, whatever. I will go back to my state and we'll figure this out. Not so easy. Where I live, there is no pain management, at least not in the form that I need. The answer? An 8-hour round trip that I either pay for out of pocket or I get on a bus in the morning and come back in the evening. Now, I'm sorry. I sit here for a few minutes recording a video. Most times I shift. When it's done, I'll lay down, I'll walk for a few minutes. I can't do any one thing for an extended period of time. 8 hours in one position in any vehicle is detrimental to days of my life. So I gave up. I went there. They did the MRIs again, which I've already had done in another state, but they had to be done here. I had x-rays done again. I had my knees examined again. Everything, everything that was in my medical record had to be done all over. More money. When it was done, there wasn't an offer to, okay, we'll replace the knee. Well, it looks like about the only thing that we could actually do for you would be to insert a morphine pump into your body. A mechanical pump to dose me with morphine on a set time frame. I'm sorry, that's ridiculous. Why wouldn't you want to fix the problem? Eliminate that money. Eliminate that issue so that I don't have to keep coming back, so that I can get back to doing some things that I'll never be 100%, but I could get back to a spot where I could play soccer with my kids or walk with my kids, anything. But that's not the agenda that our medical system has set. And the doctor that I had retired. And the one that came into his place had to deal with this mess that I was going through. And it's kind of where it started. I was in the pain management program when she came in. And because of the rules that were set down for her, she could not write my narcotic prescriptions more than for the first 3 months. I had no choice but to deal with the other place. Thankfully, that's been resolved. And at this point, because of a relationship that I've built up with my personal physician and the place that I go, I can get the medications that I need to sustain, to get by, to do just enough to live. If you look at me and tell me the Affordable Care Act is a good thing, I'm sorry. To me, it hurt me. It damaged my existence. It took away from my children. There were things that I could do because I was going to a proper pain management center that's 35 minutes away, that they took away to send me 4 hours away. And I live in a strange geographical area where literally, if you go 20 minutes from my house and stand in one spot, you can actually be standing in 3 states at once. But that shouldn't have caused the problem. Now, I can only hope with what may or may not be the new administration, and that will be another video, that some of this gets resolved for the next generation. Because for me, like I said, I'll be 49 years old in January. I'm almost 50. I can only expect so much. And hopefully it'll help me a little. And maybe somewhere along the way, someone will come to the understanding that I would much rather, I'll take the risk of you replacing my knee. I'll accept the risk of you cutting into my back, rather than have to continue to wear this stupid thing every day, to feel crappy, for it to increase the depression that I struggle with anyway. And not only that, it creates a mood swing effect where not only do I deal with depression now, I am getting to a point where I'm dealing with anxiety and stress and anger. So much so that lack of sleep over the past few weeks, I've actually had to be sedated slightly to sleep at night. Not just for the pain, which I'm already taking, but because I'm so wound up and so worried about everything and the fact that I can't do anything. There has to be a resolution. So to all those people on the left and all the people on the right and the people down the middle, don't just talk to one side. Don't just look at the good effects. Sit down and do something that people have been doing forever. Make a list of the good and the bad. Verify the good, the bad. Talk to the American public. Talk to the people that have been hurt. Talk to the people that have been helped. Find out what works for both of them and put it together. I hope, I pray that there is a resolution. I don't know that I see it right now. I hope my children get to see it. I hope their children get to see it. And I hope your children get to see it. Because life is a great thing when you can live it. And when you get to a point, quite honestly, where I've been a lot recently, it isn't something you enjoy anymore. In fact, at this point in my life, doing this and being with my children are the only things that give me any joy, that make me want to do things, that make me want to see what's going to happen the next day and the day after.